Hey everybody, I want to talk to you a little bit about something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. I want to talk to you about the state of Christianity here on YouTube. More specifically, this defensive, aggressive Christianity, Jesus freak Christianity, Venom Fang Christianity, Darcy Turja Christianity, who I recently responded to. Why are Christians like that here? Why the need to present this picture of a united front against anti-theist argument? Well, I'll tell you why. YouTube is incredibly popular, as everyone knows, and Christians are flocking to it. Millions and millions of Christians visit YouTube every day. You got to presume that a lot of them come to YouTube looking for a Christian message. They come to YouTube and they search for terms like Christian, Christ, Jesus, Bible, right? The problem is that when they search for terms like that, it's a matter of fact that a lot of them are running across the strong atheist and anti-theist community here on YouTube. It's already incredibly visible. It's becoming more and more visible all the time. And so Christians that normally wouldn't be exposed to this type of argument are being exposed. A lot of them for the first time being exposed to real atheism, to real atheistic points of view, to real anti-theistic argument, right? For the first time in their lives. All of them have seen the straw man. All of them have seen this, false representation of atheism that their pastors give them in sermons from time to time. All of them have seen this boogeyman atheism that's presented in these propaganda videos that are circulated at Christian conferences and such. But none of them, or at least a lot of them, have never actually had an exchange with a real atheist. So you can see why that would be incredibly scary to a person like Darcy Turja, knowing that these Christians, that the flock is coming here to YouTube and being exposed to these things that they really shouldn't be being exposed to. So that's why the appearance, they try and give the appearance that they are here to present a counterpoint to anti-theistic argument. They are here to minister not just to the masses. They're here to minister to the people that need it the most, non-believers, the worst of sinners, right? They've been called by their God to wade out amongst the worst of sinners, the non-believers, the blasphemers, the people that deny the very existence of God and deliver the gospel to them, right? That's the picture that they want to give of themselves. And so they make these very, boisterous, very provocative videos directed at atheists. Atheists, I'm calling you out. A challenge to atheists. Atheists, this video is for you. Atheists, you are cowards. Videos that are obviously meant to solicit anti-theist response, right? And what happens when they get anti-theist response? What happens when you sit down and you make a rebuttal to their video? They don't accept it. And a lot of people are pissed off by that. A lot of people get angry about that. I don't. It's annoying. I'll admit that it's annoying. You make a video response to somebody. You want to hear what they have to say. And that's because the vast majority of atheists and anti-theists here on YouTube are here because they want to engage in exchange with Christians and Muslims and theists in general. They don't want to just, stand up on the bully pulpit and sermonize and not give the opportunity for the other side of the argument to make its position known. That's why people get angry. They assume that people like Jesus Freak, like Venom Fang, like Darcy Turja are here for the same reason, because that's how they present themselves. But it's that assumption is where you're wrong. It actually makes me smile when I make a video response and it's not accepted. It makes me smile because it shows how shaky the house of cards that they are standing on is. It shows how termite infested their foundation is. They are forced to ignore atheist argument after asking for it. They're delivering false ministry. They're setting themselves up as these warriors, right? These warriors that are holding up the shield of faith and brandishing the sword of scriptural truth, right? And they're wading out amongst these atheists and meeting them head on. Instead of just ignoring them, they're meeting them head on. But they're not. They're delivering a big, loud, boisterous challenge and then denying the response. It's a false ministry. And the reason that they're denying the response is because they have no rebuttal to it. The reason that they're denying their response is they're weak in their faith. They're weak in their scriptural knowledge. They are weak in their ability to rebut this argument. They want to, very much. They believe that God has called them to do this. But the reason that they can't do it is because they're weak. And if you ever get an excuse for why your video response wasn't approved, it's always profanity. You weren't approved because you used profanity. I didn't approve you because you used profanity. Don't believe for a second that your video response not getting approved has anything to do with profanity. Think about it like this. If you know anything about evangelical Christianity, think about it like this. Do you think that their God, the God that they worship, calling them to go out and go out amongst these horrible, horrible sinners, these blasphemers, right, and deliver the gospel to the people that need to hear it most? Not just preaching to the choir, not just preaching to the masses, preaching to the people who are just absolutely wallowing in sin, blasphemers, deniers of the existence of God in general. Do you think that God would want them to shy away from the opportunity to minister to not only me, use me for an example. I make a video response. If they were to reply to me, they wouldn't just be ministering to me. They would be ministering to me and all 350 some odd of my subscribers. Do you think that their God would want them to shy away from that opportunity, the opportunity to reach the ear of 350 people with the gospel because of some language? Would he want them to shrink away because of a little bit of language? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So don't believe for a second that your profanity has anything to do with it. I've seen atheists and anti-theists here try and make these concession videos where they try not to cuss. Don't even bother. Your cussing has absolutely nothing to do with it. Your language has absolutely nothing to do with it. You want to know what the problem is? Cowardice. The problem is cowardice. The problem is presenting yourself as something that you're not. Presenting yourself as someone that is capable of refuting anti-theist argument when you're not. When you're weak, when you're too cowardly, when the foundation, when the basement of your house is so termite ridden that it's just, if you actually scrutinize it, it threatens to fall down around you. And this is why I encourage. I don't want you to get discouraged by watching people like me make video responses and have them not be approved. Don't be discouraged by that. In fact, I encourage you to make more video responses to these people, because every time you do, you throw another termite in their basement. Every time you do, you poke another hole in the Swiss cheese that is their faith. Every time that you make a video response to a Christian that has asked for anti-theist response, and they reject it, you have caused them to deliver false ministry, and they know it. Their ministry is false because they present themselves as asking for atheistic response, and when they get it, they pretend they didn't. It's a false ministry. You've revealed them for what they are, less than one-dimensional. So, that's why it makes me smile, and it should you too. And I really encourage as many people as want to. If you've ever wanted to make a video response to one of these guys, but haven't because you know that they won't accept it, do it anyway. Do it anyway. And throw another termite in their basement. Do it anyway and punch another hole in their already shaky foundation. So anyway, this is PaulsEgo. Peace, everybody.